Welcome to Publishing Cousins, where family meets the fascinating world of books. I'm Melissa LaSure, the author.
And I'm Nikki Becker, the illustrator.
We are partners in publishing.
Ever wonder what really happens behind the scenes in publishing? Well, you're in the right place. Every episode, we'll be pulling back the curtain on this wild and wonderful industry, sharing our own creative adventures, and dishing out hard-earned wisdom about writing and illustrating for publication.
From manuscript mayhem to deadline drama, from sketch submissions to final flourishes, we're bringing you the real deal, served with the hefty side of cousin banter and plenty of laughs. Whether you're dreaming of seeing your own work in print or you're just a book lover curious about how the magic happens, we've got something special for you.
So grab your favorite beverage, settle into your comfy chair, and join us for an insider's journey through the world of publishing. We're the Publishing Cousins, and we can't wait to share our stories with you.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another Cousins Publishing Nope. Dang it. Why do I do it? I'm like dyslexia today. Okay, let me try this again. Welcome back, everyone, to another Publishing Cousins podcast episode. This is our final episode of our first season, so thanks for hanging with us, and we'll be back next season with 12 more amazing episodes for you. But we wanted to end this season on talking about how to keep the balance. We've thrown a lot at you, especially for those who are starting, and we've talked about the need to put the work in, put the time in. You've got to be doing it even when you don't want to do it to finally get to that level of success that you're seeking. But you do need to balance so that you do not burn out. So we're both going to share just a few ways that we make sure that we keep that balance and we do not burn out. So Nikki, I'm going to throw it to you. So I'm just going to interject, Nikki, and just let listeners know that your dogs rely on you. She's got her dogs to take care of. So yeah, it is. I would agree. And I think you're right. We did talk about batch working in an earlier episode and then using the calendar to schedule out your times. And I'm like you, Nikki, I have to put in the schedule. This is when you're going to take a break. Otherwise, it gets overwhelming. And my situation's slightly different. So by the time this episode comes out, I will be probably halfway through a school year where I am doing a job and a half. And so running a building and that's outside. That's my outside work that actually pays the bills right now. And then I have my writing and podcasting, everything that I come home to and work on, which is fine. Most people think, how in the world do you do that? That's so overwhelming. They're two very different things. What I do during my day job is all education related. And it's very, very different from that creative piece that I'm doing when I come home. So here are 5 things that I use to just kind of help me keep the balance. So one is taking breaks. And so when I talk about breaks, sometimes it's just that small break, like what Nikki was talking about. I just need to get up for 15 to 30 minutes. I need to go take a walk, do some yoga. I mean, anything like that you find, or maybe it's doing some chores. I tend to get up and do like a load of dishes, do a load of laundry, sweep, maybe clean the bathroom. So there's something about cleaning the bathroom that just makes me happy. And I think it's just taking something dirty and watching it become clean. So anyways, I know I'm a little bit weird on that. The other thing, I put it in the break category, would be batch working. And that is because I'll say I'm going to work on my writing for 2 hours and then I'm going to switch and work on podcast work, or I'm going to switch and work on email work. And the reason why I consider that a break is because it's a break from one task and moving into another. So my brain that I'm using, that part of my brain using for this task, could take a rest while I pick up the next one to work on the next project. And then the other thing is a long break, and that is just what I consider a vacation. So that's where you say, I put within my work schedule, if I meet my deadlines, that I have the ability to have this week to do whatever I want with my family, whatever it is. All right, so breaks, that's one thing. So 2 is moving to a new project or bouncing between projects. That really helps me. And when I talk projects, you could say like, whether you say go back to that's like batch working, but in my mind, it's a little different. For me as an author, so I write historical Christian suspense romance, but some people don't realize this. When I need to like switch gears, I actually have a whole list of contemporary Christian suspense novels that I'm looking at, because eventually I will start publishing in that genre as well. So to me, that's just fun to say, you know what, because this isn't going to get published anytime soon. It's just kind of this fun, like, let me see what I can do with it right now. It's not on a deadline. So that's kind of what I mean by looking at a new project, at least for me. The third thing I like to do is read. So I end my days with at least an hour of reading, one, because it just helps me fall asleep and shut my brain off and just escape into a new world. So I read for fun, but another thing that kind of rejuvenates me too is reading professional books, because then I'm collecting these fresh new ideas from other people, and it just kind of like reignites that fire to go, okay, I got this. Yeah, this is exciting. Let me try this. The fourth thing would be attending conferences, whether online or in person. And again, it's that you're gathering with other like-minded people and experts in your field. And conferences, I always walk away from feeling totally rejuvenated and set on fire. And then I've got like 100 things, that you want to try after you've been to a conference, for sure. And then the fifth and final thing that just helps me personally as a writer is being part of those critique groups or writers groups, because that's the people who get you. They give you feedback, they're helping you grow, and you can just connect and share so many ideas. It's just, so we are not, I think it's pretty self, everybody knows that I'm a believer. And so I would say God did not design us to do life alone. We are built to live in community, and that community is what keeps your fire going. And I know that I've talked a lot about, and I can't remember if it's I don't think it's in Titus, but I'd have to go back and look for sure. It might be in James where it says, oh no, it's a Proverbs. I'm sorry. To not, no, I got all of this messed up, Nikki. I think it's Hebrews. Somebody out there will know for sure and be able to like point me in the right place. I just know it's scripture, and it talks about not to give up meeting together. And it always takes me back to my grandmother-in-law, so my husband's grandmother, who said, I want you to take a piece of coal. I want you to visualize this. If you take a piece of coal out of the fire and set it off to the side, what happens to it? It dies. It cools off and dies. But the coals that remain in the fire with everybody else remain hot and vibrant. And so that is what you need. You need a connection. So writing can often become an isolated thing. And I am assuming, Nikki, that illustration can also become an isolated thing. You're doing your own thing. Don't forget to plug into those communities. You need other people. Taking a break. There's like 3 different types of breaks you could take. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about him? Spend time with him every night. Generally, I will say my break comes when my husband comes home. There's probably 3 hours there where I don't touch anything, because it's like, your usual routine. How was your day? I'm talking to him about my day. He's talking to me about his day. We're getting cleaned up from the day that we put in and making dinner together, and then sitting down and eating. And then we have our own like Bible and prayer time we do together. Like, so I have about a 3-hour time in that like afternoon, early evening where I'm not doing anything. And then when that's done, he's watching his podcasts and YouTube videos that he loves, right? And I'm sitting there working on, we're in the same room, but I'm sitting there working on stuff that doesn't take a ton of my brain power, like what you were talking about. So those easy tasks that, because I'm not going to lie, the TV is a distractor for me. So I purposely, if I have to seriously get something done, like just recently, I had to get these edits approved back to my editor to get my final copy. And I said, you know what? I hate to do this, but the rest of the evening, I'm going to lock myself in the bedroom down there because I need silence while I do this, right? Because that takes a lot of think power for me. Yeah. So I shouldn't have said, wait, what about Derek? I mean, he's the light of my life. He's my biggest fan and biggest supporter, but I do need that time with him every day too. I don't ever want this to take away from our relationship either. So just keep that balance in mind too, guys. Whether you have a husband, you have a wife, you've got kids, don't let this overrun that and break those relationships down. 2 is just switching to a new project. You know, like I hit a creation block, what we call a writer's block, right? I hit that in one of my stories and I went, I need to just work on something different for a few days. And then I think my brain was ready to go, okay, this is where we need to go with this story, if that makes sense. I would not function on that. Number 3 is read. So either reading fiction to escape or you're reading professional reads to kind of reignite the fire. Yeah. The escape, right? And then the 4th one is conferences. That's okay. It's not everyone's, and there's a lot of authors that we're such introverts that is really hard for us. And that is very exhausting to be on and to be interactive with people constantly. And I won't deny it. There are times when I'm at a conference and I say, I just need an hour break, right? Like I need to go recharge. There's a lot of peopling, as they say, right? It's just a lot of people. But at the same time, always walk away from a conference fully recharged with all these ideas that I'm just so excited to get to. But the second piece of that, Nikki, is the networking. The people you meet, connect in that profession, they just fuel your fire. And some of them start to become those people that become part of your inner circle, right? That you can work with. Yeah, it does. Yes. But can I also just challenge you too, Nikki? Because in the education world, when I was going to conferences, that's where I got in the education world. Like, I'm not gaining anything new here. I'm actually working, and I don't want to sound conceited when I say this, but I'm actually working up here above this level. Like, I already know all this, right? So here's the challenge that was issued to me. I'm going to issue it to you. Then turn around and be a presenter and bring everybody up where you're at. And I did it. It was scary at first. I did it. It was scary at first, but after, you do a few presentations, it's I don't know, it's just kind of rewarding to give back, to feed back into the people who are coming up behind you because you're like, "You know what? I was in your seat at one point, and I want to see you get up here. You don't have to take my challenge. I will not think less of you if you don't. It's okay. It's all right." Yeah. I love your retreat idea, by the way. Love it. And I think eventually I will also offer a retreat for writers in my genre as well. So, yeah. No, I love it. I love it. I think that's a great place to stop because I am going to tell our listeners to keep listening and checking back as we launch next season because you never know when Nikki or I are going to offer that retreat. Well, thanks for hanging with us for 12 episodes for our very first season. Nikki, it's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to next season with you. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Publishing Cousins. If you enjoyed our creative conversation today, be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast. We'd also love it if you could rate, review, and share the show. It helps other book lovers find us. You can learn more about Nikki's portfolio and Melissa's novels at publishingcousins.com. And if you have questions about writing, illustrating, or publishing that you'd like us to cover in future episodes, send them our way at literaryscape@literaryscape.com. Until next time, keep creating, and remember, in publishing, as in family, there's always room for more stories.